Hey, what's going on, guys? So we just got back from going on a ride out to Hiawatha. Not sure exactly how many kilometers that is, but it was pretty far. We went down it's a snowmobile trail, and we got the bikes pretty dirty, as you can see. Pretty mucky stuff, so thought we'd do is show you how we get the Rons clean. Basically it's pretty easy. I use two products. Basically I'll show you here. I got usually use these for spraying like in your garden or whatever. Yeah, I just have pure plain cold water in here. You just pump it up. And then the star of the show is this stuff here, and I'm not sponsored by these or anything. Bought this with my own money, and the brand is not necessarily important, but as you can see, it's called silicone spray. There's many different brands that make this stuff, but like I said, the brand is not important. But what is important is you're just going to want to get some silicone lube spray, and as you can see, what it says on there is it waterproofs parts and leaves a slick coating. And if we turn it over, we can see on the back that it says it lubricates, stops rust, protects life of metal and non-metal surfaces, and it's high dielectric characteristics. Now what dielectric means is it's safe for electrical systems. You can spray it right on the metal contacts, and it will prolong the life of those and create a waterproof barrier. So I use this stuff all over my bike. I'll show you guys exactly how I do it. So leave that over there for now. Basically you're going to want to start by coming over, and this is just plain cold water, and the reason being is we're up here in Canada where they use a lot of salt on the roads, and the cold water, it won't activate the salt. If you guys have salt residue all over your bike and you bring it home and you start washing it with hot water, that hot water actually activates the salt, and it speeds up the corrosion. So you don't want to do that. You're going to want to use cold water. Get over here, you pump this thing up. Spray the bike down real good. Now this mud's been sitting on here for about 3 hours now. Alright guys, so you're just going to use the cold water and spray your bike down best you can. If you need to use a rag to wipe some of the, as you can see, like right here, it's not really coming off with just the sprayer. You can use a rag and just wipe that off, or I'll show you guys basically the silicone spray is going to take that right off there anyway. So just keep following along, and I'll show you exactly how I wipe this, or how I clean this bike. It's coming up on a year old, and to me it still looks brand new. I actually had a compliment the other day. A lady asked me, she said, that bike brand new? I said, oh, it's coming up on a year old. She said, oh, it looks new. I wash this thing pretty much every time. Well, not every time I ride it, but every time I ride it in the mud and stuff like this. If it's the middle of the summer and I just go on the road and it's not too bad, I don't wash it every time. But when I go out in the muck and the snow and the ice, this is how I wash my bike off, just like this. So if you guys follow along and you do exactly this, your bike will look brand new. It won't get rusted, and it'll be working perfect for years to come. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, try to get over into here, in these holes here. You can see my connections in there. They still look brand new. They're not rusted or anything, those metal connections in there. And that's because I spray everything down with the silicone after. I'll show you guys how to do that next. So just keep following along and we'll get to that part, guys. Okay, once you get it to this point, you're done spraying it with the cold water. You might still have a bit of residue left like that. I mean, if it's real bad and you're worried about it, you can add some soap into your stuff. Mine is there is kind of a lot of salt residue left, so I probably should have added some soap, but I'm not going to, just to show you. Basically, once you get it to this point, yeah, you've sprayed it all with the cold water. There's still a bunch of water beads all over the bike. You just take a microfiber cloth and you're just gonna wipe everything off. So all that residue, it'll just come right off of your cloth. And then once you think you've done a good job, you're gonna go and rinse your cloth out and wring it out best you can, and then I will show you the next step. Alright guys, so when you get done wiping the bike down after you've washed it with the cold water, you're gonna go get either go wash this one off with soap really well and wring it out, or get a fresh microfiber towel. And this stuff is really the star of the show. Not necessarily, it's not brand specific. What I mean is you're just going to want to get silicone spray, silicone lubricant. Doesn't matter which brand, just silicone spray, okay? And let me show you what you're going to do with it. So I like to use the little tube that it comes with. You'll see why. Okay. I like to get it all in here. So watch, there's little holes in the bike here. Little spray in there. Little spray up in there. This stuff really foams up. This is the first time using this brand. Usually I use 3-in-1. I went on Amazon the other day and I ordered a whole case of Bell Ray marine silicone spray because it saved me a bit of money. So you're gonna spray it up in here, everywhere, anywhere you can think of. Just spray it everywhere on the bike, okay? Except for your brakes. You don't want to get it in your brakes or on the rotors. However, if some does drip on there, it's not a big deal. You can clean that up with rubbing alcohol. Okay, come over here. You're gonna want to get some in here. This stuff foams up really nice. I like this stuff. The other stuff didn't foam up like that. So I guess each brand will perform a little differently and stuff. So you try that out and see what brand you like the best, but as long as you get some silicone spray, this stuff will keep your bike looking new, and it keeps it from lubricates, stops rust, protects life of metal and non-metal surfaces, high dielectric, so it's safe for electrical. A lot of guys will use Maxima SC1, which is a silicone based spray, and it's about 20 bucks a can, and they will use that to spray on their plastics and stuff and shine it all up. Just go and get this stuff. Don't even buy that stuff. It's a waste of your money. Okay? Get it right in here. You're gonna all your connections in there. You're gonna spray all that. Oh, I really like how this stuff foams up nice. Just for a second it's a foam, but that's nice because it seems to give a nice coverage. So yeah, you're just gonna spray it everywhere, all these little cracks. And then after you do that, okay, you put it on it's safe to put it on your stanchions. Okay guys, see down here on your stanchions, spray those. What I'll do when I take the bike inside, I'll take the plastic guards off and I'll rub that all around and properly clean that up, but you're just going to spray a little bit of plastics and spray it underneath. And don't worry, this stuff's safe to get everywhere, except for you don't really want to get it on your seat, your grips, or the brakes, obviously, because it's a lube. So but if you do manage to get some on your seat, it's not a big deal. You'll just be sliding around for a little while. So. Put it on your linkage, all these little nooks and crannies, in your bearings, everywhere. Spray a little dab everywhere. And then when you're done, you take your microfiber, wipe the whole bike down, and then you're done. That's going to protect it from rusting, and it'll keeps all the elements off your bike, and it just keeps it looking brand new. In your motor, down in here, you spray it all over on the motor, up here, on these metal connections here, everywhere. And the inside on your controller, on the outside of the controller, up in your horn, on the connections of your horn, in this little hole here. What I do when I'm washing my bike, I put a little Ziploc bag on my cords. We can take that off now. What you're gonna do, get this in here, spray a little bit in these connections. Come over here, spray a little bit in here, on your breaker, up in there. Spray some in here, in your lock, put it right in your ignition, a little blast in there. In this little keyhole over here, put a little blast in there. Basically everywhere, up in here, in between your throttle here guys, in your throttle, little blast in there, give it a turn. In your brake levers, everywhere. Just put this stuff everywhere and then wipe it on. It's going to protect your bike, lube everything up, and it's going to work amazing after this. Up in here guys, on these buttons, it's going to go in those cracks, going to protect all that. Put a little bit on there.
Everywhere on the bike. Everywhere
basically, yeah, I'm just showing you. So basically that's probably all I need to spray on it for now, and then I will take my rag and we'll wipe all that in and we'll be good. Over here guys, make sure you get all in here. Another thing this thing does is it displaces water, so any water that's left in here, this is going to force it out of there, because obviously you don't want water getting in all these little cracks and crevices. So if you ever take the bike apart, it's all going to be rusted all in behind where you can't see. Up in here, your headset, spray up in there, your horn, I think I mentioned it. Basically anywhere you can think of. Yeah, so I find if you put it on when the bike's still a bit damp, There'll still be a bit of water beads on it. I find it helps to what's the right word? It's kind of, the water mixes in with the silicone and it kind of stretches it out, so you don't quite need to spray as much. But if it's your first time doing it, I would honestly use about a half a can on your bike. If it's the first time, just get it everywhere. Just put that stuff all over everything. It's what's gonna keep your bike from rusting. And 'cause I seen some guys posted in a Facebook group, and all of his nuts here, they were all rusted, and he said that it was from riding it out in the rain and in the through the winter. I ride mine through the winter in the salt, but the only thing that keeps my bike from not rusting is that silicone stuff. So spray it everywhere, get it all over your hardware. It'll keep it all from rusting. Even though it is stainless steel, it's just stainless. It stains less. It will stain still, it will rust. But so yeah, you're just gonna do this. Afterwards, your bike will be nice and shiny, everything will be lubed up, and you will be ready for your next ride. Only other thing I would do after this, other than the silicone, is I would, my chain, you're gonna wanna lube that up. You don't wanna leave that sitting like that. So you can either just spray some silicone lube on there, or what I usually like to do is I'll clean it with WD-40, but since it's not actually that dirty right now, I will probably just put some gear oil on there. That's what I lube my chain with. I lube my chain with gear oil. Alright, yeah, so it wouldn't be a proper thorough cleaning video if I didn't show you this part. So the final step is what I like to do is I take a toothbrush, I take some gear oil. This stuff just happens to be some Motomaster synthetic gear oil. Not sponsored by them or nothing. I just picked this up at the Canadian Tire. You could probably use any gear oil, but however, gear oil is recommended as the recommended lube for your chain. So what I do, I don't know if you can see that, I just pour a bit on the toothbrush, and you're just gonna scrub it on. Scrub it on your chain all over, all four sides, okay? Okay, and then once you do that, you're gonna lift the end up, turn it a half a turn or whatever, put some more on, do the same thing. Make sure you get a good coating all over your chain, because we don't want the chain to rust. Alright, once you've done that, if you followed along and did all the steps, congratulations, you did a good job, and your bike will last a very long time. Alright guys, if this video helped you, like it, subscribe to the channel if you want. Cheers.